Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Nikki, and today I am going to be exploring some of the characteristics of our Lyran Commanders out there. I love the Lyran Commanders. They really resonate with a lot of people, and I find that particularly from my sixth book of the Anuanna Chronicles, the Divine Blueprint, they had a bit of a following. So I just want to expand on this a bit because at the timing of this recording, we are still in Leo season. It's about to be Virgo season, but this is a universal message whenever you are receiving it. It is the right time, wherever you are in your timeline. And so diving in, Leo, lion beings, particularly Lyran lions, okay, as well as perhaps Leo starseeds. But we're going to primarily focus on Lyran starseeds today, who have a very majestic lion-like presence, okay? They're very regal, very powerful. And these feline beings are typically natural leaders. They are commanders. They are guardians. They are strategists. And they are typically council leaders who inspire through strength rather than domination. Okay, like if you have ever been in a room and someone enters it and without them even saying a word, you just feel their energy before they even sit down. You could just feel their presence. Okay. That is what Lyran starseeds typically carry with them. It is unmistakable. It's undeniable. They are just naturally magnetic and charismatic and very strong presence. Okay. And I'm thinking about a lot of the memories and teachings connected with some of these oldest star systems in Lyra and all of the cosmic lineages coming from there. There's a lot of ancient wisdom that they carry, okay? And they're very courageous and fearless. And this is found in all of our myths, primarily the Egyptian myths, okay, of Sekhmet and Apetamok, who I do believe are representatives of Lyra and Sirius. And so when you have that lion frequency, and you're known for your bravery and your resilience and an instinct to protect others during conflict or transition. These are strong Lyran traits, okay? Anytime you have a life path where you are constantly having to step in and be the problem solver from a very young age or highly dependent on to dependent on to lead, okay, from a very young age. That's very typical of Lyran starseeds, okay. But Lyran commanders in general, they are guardians of sovereignty. They are fiercely protective of free will and personal sovereignty, okay. And they're all about overseeing the right of civilizations to determine their own path. There's a lot of warrior protector energy. There's a lot of powerful defenders who prefer peace but will stand firmly against oppression or interference. And this is deeply, I feel, rooted in their psyche, okay, from the Lyran Draconian Wars. Lyran sovereignty, that is like pretty much home base, okay, for what we believe to be the humanoid species, okay, across our universe. And so they have a strong sense of duty. They have a strong sense of honor and loyalty and integrity, a strong sense of responsibility and keeping one's word, okay? Like their word is bond. That is really central to this archetype. They're very heart-centered. They have a formidable warrior energy with compassion and generosity and devotion to those under their protection. They're also counsel-oriented. I mentioned this before, But Lyran councils in general are often envisioned as collaborative bodies where elders and commanders and representatives deliberate before major decisions. All right. They put a lot of thought into their strategy. They are not very spontaneous. They really are strategic. They are, however, really good at responding in an emergency. They are often willing to take the lead, but for the most part, they will often wait until they have all the information or all the facts or data or intel before they make a move. They're very wary of falling into traps. They're very wary of people who are highly manipulative. Even if there's no reason for them to doubt a person, if they don't know that person's spirit or energy that well, they are very slow to interact, okay, with people they just do not know well. You have to build a bit of trust. You have to build a bit of rapport before, they're willing to intervene. Okay. That said, they are very protective of people who often need assistance to a fault. They will often sacrifice themselves on behalf of others. Okay. They have a deep loyalty. Okay. From powerful bonds with their families and their councils and allies and those who are entrusted with their care. That's huge for them. They are often faithful to their partners. They know when they know, they don't have to see what else is out there. They're not always second guessing themselves. Once they have made it, it's typically for life. It's like they are, very grounded typically. So, I'm feeling like, there's also, in addition to the commanding presence, and their authority and powerful presence. They are teachers. They are wonderful teachers of courage. They are very encouraging when it comes to others and helping others reclaim their strength and trust their inner authority and lead with both courage and compassion. This is huge for them. I mentioned this recently in my book on RH negative starseeds. Okay. Anyone from Lyra or Vega, okay, is going to have a sense of sovereignty from birth. Like they will just come into this world knowing that they are different. They just instinctively know they are different. They may also have a sense of knowing they are royalty or of royal lineage, okay? They won't be able to explain why. It's just they feel that they are in an elevated state of consciousness. Not that they're better than anyone else or look down on others, but they do feel a sense of sovereignty, okay, from a very young age. And they're often nonconformists. They don't follow others. They make their own rules. They are very creative. They are wonderful musicians and creators. They're very good with sound frequencies, sacred sounds, harmonizing things. There's a strong, especially with women, there's like this feline or I think the word I'm looking for is leonine, perhaps guardianship. Okay. Where they're very protective of their cubs. Okay. If you've studied this, in terms of lions, okay, the lionesses, they're very, protective. Okay. And they will fight you to the death. They are often more brave than the men. Okay. So it's interest or the males of the species. I find that if they are displaced from their original home, this triggers them because many Lyran starseeds are missing their home. They know their home planets are no longer there. They understand this sort of diaspora throughout the universe, why they had to go into Pleiades and other star systems to survive. So the migration into, the Pleiades and Sirius and Orion and other regions, there's still a sense of longing for home. I'm thinking of Wizard of Oz for some reason. There's no place like home. Okay. And the Cowardly Lion's constantly trying to find his courage when he's naturally courageous. He doesn't have to prove it. It's all about his heart. But there's still that inner grief. Okay. There's still that, I'd like to say there's like a bit of sadness there, okay? And that's just from not really having a sense of home. And this often is why I think so many Lyran starseeds tend to be misdiagnosed, especially if they are Rh negative, okay? It's very important that they find the right healthcare providers, the right people, the right therapists or counselors, okay? Because they are not exactly built like others. They are very distinct, okay? These are multidimensional beings, right? And they definitely have a lot of inner wisdom. They just know things. They know things on their own. They are really good at investigating things on their own. They are very kind-hearted, but you wouldn't know it by looking at them. They look like they've been through some things. Like life is often hard for them in order for them to raise to a consciousness of leadership at such a young age. They have to mature quickly. They have to adapt quickly in order to be at a state of maturity for them to think about the collective, right? So these are things that often come through. They are natural leaders and visionaries. A lot of them are just clearly in tune with their ancestral lineage, and they have a lot of ancestral wisdom within them. They have a sense of soul history. They have a sense of pre-earth incarnations that most people don't really discover until much later in life, right? They just know. A lot of them feel a sense of, I think they're often patriotic. They have a calling, a willingness to serve and protect or defend their countries. I mean, they are very heroic, and they often romanticize about being a hero. They are natural heroes. And so, a lot of them are just here to guide others through this awakening, and they are definitely just, warrior archetypes, okay? And there's a lot of archetypes out there in terms of starseeds, often Antarians or Orion beings. They're very warrior archetypes, but when you think about Lyrans and what they had to endure during the Draco invasions and during the Orion wars, and the additional wars between the Anunnaki, between the Atlanteans and the Lemurians, when you think about the hidden histories of the Earth, including Antarctica, and all of the technology that was hidden in the Earth, to keep Earth steady enough so that they can be in a position for where, when these beings did return in whatever vehicle, whatever humanoid vehicle, that they would be ready to take on this technology, which has been around for millions of years, okay? Even though it's new to us, all this AI technology, that feels like a data dump right now. It's always been there. Okay, just outside of our timeline until now. They have a sense of maturity and they know how to use it wisely. Like they are not here to allow people to destroy planet Earth, okay, for the sake of greed or power struggles, okay? So they're here for a specific reason or they would not be here. There's no accident. They're here. And they're here to take a stand and here to guard humanity through this transition. So a lot of that is just part of it's a common mission for starseeds to do this, but in terms of Lyrans, they're often leading the charge because they were here first. They are some of our oldest souls, right? And some of our very wisest souls. And so I just love that. And I feel like there's no accident in our popular culture that we see things like, lion beings in our films and Thundercats and various archetypes where they are shown in challenges and trials and tribulations, and then they have to overcome evil. Okay, this is very on point with our myths. Okay, there's always been a like a Lion of Judah or a Messiah, or it's always been the symbolism for the king or the royalty, and so it's a beautiful way for us to look at what it means today in the 21st century to be a true leader, to be courageous, to move forward, and to always do the right thing and keep up the struggle, keep, fighting for human rights, fighting for diversity or sovereignty, all the basic things, okay, that we shouldn't have to fight about, but it's worth struggling for in order for us to have a better world to leave behind for the future generations, right? And this is not limited to just lion beings, okay? There are tiger beings. There were feline beings of various, panther beings. There were various types, but we often think of the lion beings because these were typically the commanders on these ships. And I do remember when we were to the point where we had to leave Lyra, because I am a Vega starseed, which is in the constellation of Lyra. And we all met in our ships in a ring, and we all agreed one day that we would all be together again, but it would never be the same. But we knew that we had to make sure that life survived no matter what, and on its own terms. And that's truly what sovereignty is all about. And we went out into deep space. It was not easy. Some of us went to planets. Some of us went to moons. Some of us went to asteroids. And we were just everywhere we were going. We were dying out there because we couldn't sustain life for very long in these uninhabitable conditions. So there's this deep soul memory about wanting to survive and thrive no matter where you are, and always anticipating the next stage of evolution. And we had full sovereignty on how we wanted to evolve in Lyra. And it's the same with Sirius. We had absolute sovereignty on how we wished to evolve. And on Earth, we don't quite have that. That has been taken from us, and it's really indicative of why there's so much disharmony and so much, corruption and continuous war and strife. It's because we haven't had sovereignty over our own self-determination or where we want to be, okay, in the next 100,000 years and so on. But there is the timeline where we are at the Homo Galacticus stage, interacting with our Star Nation families and alliances, and getting to that Homo Omega stage. But it takes time. It takes time, and the interference that has been there, it's dwindling away because there are only so long that you can be under the control of others. Eventually it dissipates, I think is the word, or dissipates. It falls away, okay? And so, yeah, that is very important to remember, that Lyran Commanders are very resilient. They are very selfless. They are only there to serve as examples for others to live better. There have been some conflicts in the past between certain royal families of Lyra, okay? But for the most part, the ones that survived were in perfect alignment with the law of one. And that is something we need to remember. That is why I think so many people are drawn to lion frequencies or lion guardians in addition to dragon guardians and so on. There's a reason why you're drawn to certain archetypes, and it's not your imagination. You have to follow the clues. You have to follow what's in your heart or what's in your third eye, whatever visions you're having or reoccurring dreams or whatever patterns you're attracted to. There's something there. The clues are there, and the clues were left by you. That's the biggest, secret, is realizing that you are the one leaving breadcrumbs for yourself to get on track and complete the mission you set out to complete. So I hope that helps with those of you who are interested in Lyran Commanders and Lyran Starseeds. You can check out more from my book, The Complete Guide to Starseeds, as well as Arch Negative Starseeds. And, wishing you much luck on your journey. And the answers are there. Do not give up. Do not be disheartened. Be encouraged. The answers are there. And you are asking the right questions. Okay. It's just a matter of time. But that is pretty much what came through when I was channeling the Anuanna Chronicles and the following works, in addition to tracking the archetypes of these beautiful star lineages. Okay. And it's important to keep in mind that there were more than just lion beings in Lyra. There were several types of beings, okay? But this is very important to the human galactic story. These are our star ancestors, and the mysteries are there for those of you who are working with the mysteries and understand the initiations that are there, or why things get so hard to the point where it seems to be breaking your spirit. And that's only there for you to undergo these initiations so that you can become stronger at handling things with grace and ease and courage. So with that, definitely, if you are going through something that is life-changing right now, it is probably because you are here to lead, and not just, a few dozen here or there. You are here to lead thousands of people through this transition, possibly millions. Okay. So there is a reason why if things are getting so hard to the point where they almost seem like a joke, you have to allow things to crumble, to fall away, so that this new foundation can be built for you, and you can take the lead on where you want to move forward next in this new timeline. And that is what being a leader is all about. Understanding the cycles, understanding creation, preservation, destruction, repeat, rinse, wash, repeat. Understanding the importance of sovereignty and the power within to take back your power and design the life you are here to live, and understand that you are meant for absolute the best. You are meant for more. You were not sent here to struggle. You were not sent here to, have such a hard time. But a lot of times it has to be the way it has been in order for you to emerge stronger, wiser, and reach more people through your path. Okay. And so I leave you with that. For more information, please visit my website at nikkivasquez.com. My books are available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and I will have more for you soon. Happy journeying.